Good morning, everyone. Today's Inauguration Day, and it reminds me of the story of Golda Meir talking to Richard Nixon during the Yom Kippur War, asking for assistance and demanding assistance. And at what point President Nixon got a little annoyed with Golda Meir and said, "Do you realize, Prime Minister, that I am the president of 200 million people?" To which Golda Meir responded, "Yes, Mr. President, but I am the Prime Minister of 2 million presidents." Every Jew is a president. You see, in this week's Torah portion, the Torah talks about the mission that Moses and Aaron carried out to demand the freedom of the Jewish people. And in one verse it says, "This was Moses and Aaron, who Moshe v'Aaron." And then in a subsequent verse it says, "Who Aaron v'Moshe." It was Aaron and Moses. And Rashi asks, why in one verse does it mention Moses before Aaron, and in the other verse it says Aaron before Moses? And Rashi answers to tell you that they were equal, they were equivalent in greatness and in stature. And the commentaries ask, how could you say that Aaron was as great as Moses? Everyone knows that there was never a leader as great as Moses. And Rabbi Moshe Feinstein answers this question by saying that we misunderstand what true greatness is. Sometimes we compare ourselves to others thinking, am I as important as that person? Am I as influential? As great, as powerful? But the truth is that God measures greatness when each person fulfills their unique potential and utilizes fully their God-given talents that God gave them. The God doesn't compare us to anyone else. And therefore, Aaron was as great as Moses. It doesn't mean literally that he accomplished what Moses accomplished. Of course, Moses freed the Jewish people. He was the leader. He led them 40 years in the desert. He brought the Torah down from heaven. But Aaron fulfilled his potential as a high priest. And therefore, they're equal because they both fully actualized and realized their potential. And that's the message. When we see the most powerful person in the world being inaugurated today, we don't have to feel intimidated. We could be as great as the greatest person in the world as long as we are doing our very best with what God has given us and fulfilling our mission and our purpose in this world. This Shabbat we had a wonderful guest at the synagogue, a news anchor woman from Australia. Her name is Erin Molan, and she spoke in the synagogue. Erin Molan has been a fierce, staunch, courageous, outspoken advocate and supporter of Israel since October 7th, exposing all the lies and the anti-Semitism of the world and the double standards. And she's been speaking with tremendous moral clarity and conviction. And unfortunately, she was fired from Sky News in Australia because of her moral stance. But she continues to go around the world and speak in support of Israel and the Jewish people. And she said, I have a little girl, and I get death threats, and I need security. And my husband says to me, you're endangering the life of our daughter. And I respond to him by saying, what kind of a world will I leave my daughter if I don't speak out? If I have the ability to speak, to communicate truth, I must utilize that ability that God gave me. And she told a story that she was recently in Israel, and a soldier traveled 3 hours to see her and said, I came here to thank you. And he took the patch off his uniform, and he says, I was going to give this patch, my IDF, Israeli Army patch with the Magen David, I was going to give it to my son, but I decided to come here and give it to you. And she said, why are you giving this to me? I'm so humbled. And she held up this patch and she said, it's the most meaningful gift because of what the soldier told me. The soldier said, we were fighting in Gaza for 6 months. And not only do we have to fight and sacrifice our lives and suffer the terrible onslaught of Hamas terrorism, but we have to do this while the world condemns us and the world says that we're baby killers and we're committing genocide. We have to do this while the world accuses us of committing crimes against humanity when we're really just defending goodness and innocent lives. And then one night we were sitting around in our camp and someone came across one of your videos and we all sat and watched it. And we heard you speak with such truth, with conviction, with moral clarity, and suddenly we got strength, knowing that there are people who understand our plight and that we are fighting for justice and for defense of human lives, and God forbid not to buy into the lies and the anti-Semitic accusations of the world. And every night we would sit and watch your videos, they said to Erin, and this gave us strength. And Erin said, when I heard that, I knew that what I was doing was worthwhile. I knew what I was doing was important, and I will continue to do that with every breath of my life. This is the strength of people reaching their potential with what they are given the ability to do, it like every person must do. And when we do that, we're all presidents, we're all equally. As we watch the hostage deal unfold, and we couldn't be happier to see the first 3 young ladies come out, one of them being Emily Damari, who yesterday so movingly said, "I'm the happiest person in the world just to be," as she smiles this beautiful radiant smile with her hand missing 2 fingers. We're encouraged by her strength, her determination to survive for 471 days. And her mother told us on our trips to Israel when we met with her, "My daughter is strong, I know she will come out alive." And indeed she did. The strength of the mother and the families to endure this horror for 471 days. And then we see the lies of the world. For throughout this war, so many anti-Semites on campuses and all over were saying, disproportionality. It's not proportionate what Israel is doing compared to what Hamas did. And now I ask you, is this exchange not disproportionate? Are the 2 Bibas babies equivalent to dozens and dozens of murderous terrorists? Why aren't you screaming out that it's disproportionate? How could you exchange 2 innocent babies for 50 or 60 murderers? Where are the cries of disproportionality? It's all lies, it's all anti-Semitism. We know who we are, we know what we represent, we know the truth. We will not listen to the lies and the anti-Semitism of the world. We will stand up like Moses with strength, with courage, with conviction. And then each and every one of us will achieve our full moral stature and greatness. Have a wonderful day.